Hey, yo, what's up, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Matchmaker. Today, I got a special guest. I'm gonna allow him to introduce himself and just let them know who you are and what you do.
Hey, good evening, folks. I'm Craig Karahuta. I'm the Vice President of Football and Cheerleading Operations for the largest youth football organization on the planet, American Youth Football.
Okay. How long have AYF been around?
1996, AYF was started by Joe Galat, who's currently our president. He was a trustee of National Pop Warner back in the day. He worked with him and Jim Taft, who was the Pop Warner football commissioner back in the day, were interested in unlimited weight football, and Pop Warner's staff was not interested in that, so they decided to break away and start their own venture called American Youth Football. So, for people that don't know that, it is a break off of people that worked for Pop Warner back in the day.
Okay. So you've been with them the whole duration, or
No,
how
no,
have you?
no, no, no. 2011, I came over to AYF. I was an old Pop Warner guy. I had a large league in New Jersey that had 36 towns and almost 15,000 kids football and cheer back in their heyday, and we moved to AYF in 2011. 2012, I became their regional director for the Big East region of AYF, and then 2015, Joe asked me to come on the national staff. So I've been about 10 years in the capacity I'm in now.
Okay, that's beautiful. So, what would you say is the difference between the Pop Warner now in AYF?
I be honest, I really don't follow what they're doing at this point in time. I know that they've switched over to unlimited, but we went unlimited weight, back in the day when there was no really organized unlimited weight organizations or leagues in the country that put on a national, regional and national tournament. So, the structure, we have some structure. Structurally, we're the same, but we're different. Like we don't what's the I want to say this without saying it as tactfully as I can. There's not like an ivory tower syndrome here. We have a rule book. We expect our people to follow it that are members of our organization. We're not sitting here in a room 3,000 miles away trying to put rules on people that are unenforceable that we don't, you know what I mean? We're trusting people that want to be a part of the process to buy in and follow the rules, and then when they get to us, obviously at the end of the year, when the states, regionals, and nationals, then we're in control of the process.
Okay, yeah. Speaking of that, there's many people that said that you guys actually implement too many rules. But what would you say to that? Do you feel like every rule that you have is necessary, or do you feel like any rule can actually be bent just a little bit?
Well, basically, you have to follow the basic rules, the principles and the basic policies in the rule book, but you can adapt them locally to local play if they don't fit you. But you're going to have to come back to the rule book for states, regionals, and nationals. I'm trying to say, like, if something that, in Topeka, Kansas, if some of the rules we have don't work locally to get their schedule done, they adapt, but when it's time, you have to come back and play under ours when you get to the postseason. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir. Um, I did want to ask this question. So, there are some teams that I recall, like I recall Tucker, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were actually trying to get into the AYF. And I think that for some reason it was too late or they didn't do something. Could you explain to any team that would love to play in the AYF regionals are just organization under your organization? Could you explain to them the process it takes in order to become AYF certified?
So what happens is we generally play through a league based process. So your league, and let's use the league that Tucker's in. I forget it. Was it GYFL or something? I'm trying to remember the name of the league
I
they were in,
think
or N something NYGFL.
they played in a couple. They played
Well,
in
it was Northwest
Mayfield,
Georgia Youth
Mayfield.
Football League, right? That was the last one, I believe.
I, Well, I
The
think
one
they
he's
are
talking about,
and they
Ken,
feel.
is Northwest Georgia Youth Football League. The one he
Yeah,
talking about.
those guys came to me a couple years ago, and their president of their league, I forget his name, said, "Hey, we want to get an AYF championship charter for our organization." I said, "Okay," but their issue was they had some teams 7-1, some teams playing under 731. Their teams all weren't fitting into the AYF 731 thing, and they couldn't get everybody to adapt. So Tucker had a couple teams built on 731. So a couple of years ago, the, the COVID year, I believe it was it the COVID year or the year before? They made it to they came out of Georgia and came to nationals, and they actually lost in the national championship game to the Cali Bears, and I think it was like 8-6 game. There was a guy's name was Brandon, who was the coach back then. I can't remember his last name, but and then Tucker last year was there. They came with the 7-year-old team because it was built on being able to go AYF, but the league never really bought into the AYF process or whatever. So the AYF process is, we'll just say, I don't know, the Topeka, Kansas Youth Football League reaches out to me and says, "Hey, we want to join AYF." Okay, you got to follow the basic age cutoff. You got to follow our age divisions. You don't have to have every age division. You could be odds, you could be evens, you could be every age level, whatever works for you. And then we write them a charter letter that says, for this area that run your league in, this is yours. Nobody else in that area can come with another AYF conference. You play your regular season. You deal with your regional director, or regional chair, however you want to call it, and he asks you in July, middle of July, to report back to me with all the leagues in the region. All right, this Topeka, Kansas league is going to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13U Division One, and 6 through 10U Division Two. September, we confirm that their champs are going to attend our regional or national or state, regional or national events at those age levels. And then they're on the schedule to be, for their champs after their regular season, whoever wins to fill that spot. You know what I mean? And that's like a commitment to that you're part of the process. Now, if we go to an area that doesn't have an AYF league and we have, an independent team because they're in the middle of a state that there is no AYF in that area and they fit into our schematic, we'll take them in to the process to try to build that area into an AYF area. But, generally it's league based. The league joins, the league runs their day-to-day operations, and they just commit to the postseason to us. Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, yes. Because I know some people they didn't know like how often. I mean, how early they had to submit registration, or they didn't know the process or who to talk to in order
Well,
to make sure.
the other process, it doesn't cost the league anything to get AYF membership. So the league can say, we want to be members. Okay, I write the letter. It costs each team in the league a $40 fee, which is, that's it. They pay $40 every year for each team. So we'll use Tucker for your example. If they have 6 football teams at 6 different age levels, it's going to cost them $240 to be an AYF member for the year. That gives them access to our roster software and all that. And September 15th is the last day they can add a player. And by October 1st, that roster has to be uploaded to my system, which we lock. And if anybody tries to unlock their team, they get told they'll be ineligible. And if they do unlock it and make any changes, my screen puts them under what's called DQ status. I see it in DQ status. I open it up. It gives me a screenshot. October 1st, this is what the roster looked like. And right next to it shows me what it looks like today, and it shows me what they changed. Now, if they change the jersey numbers because they got new jerseys, no big deal. They added a kid, we got a problem. You know what I mean? We got to talk because you can't add kids. So that's the integrity of our process. It's all done through our system. But that's the only real fees to join AYF is that yearly membership fee per team per age level.
So what
So,
are your? Oh, go ahead.
this year it seemed like you guys had a really big, like 12 teams
Okay.
brackets,
Mhm.
and right. Are you guys looking to even make those brackets bigger with having so many AYF members?
No, no. See the thing that those brackets were just at the Division One level.
Hmm.
See, Division One is well. Here, let's go. Division Two is the biggest part of AYF, our D2 leagues. So we have plenty of those leagues around the country. I could have 64 team brackets if I wanted to at Division Two, but we don't. We have our regional events where our state champs attend our regional events, and we play down to 8 regional champs. And Division Two was 18 brackets. Division One, on the other hand, not as many teams playing Division One football, but we do have 18, 20 states that have Division One football at most age levels. So what was happening was, we'll use the Atlantic region for an example. You have Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. Those 4 states would meet, those 4 state champs, and they play down to one champion who would go to the nationals. At that point, those 3 states don't have a path anymore because they lost in regionals to AYF.
Okay.
So now they got to go to another event if they want to, find something to do in the postseason. UIFL's open bracket, YNC if they got an invite, the Tykes, whatever, Tykes Network, whatever those other events are, they have to go there. My guys don't want to go there. They want to come to AYF event because of whatever reason they like to be here. I'm not going to say, whatever their reason is, they want to be here. So we said, and sometimes it gets to the point where those Division One teams in one of those other states might be the second best team in the country that's getting knocked out at regionals. So we voted to open those brackets to 16 team brackets for Division One maximum. Because we have some that drop out, can't afford to travel from certain states, money, whatever. So we had some 12s, some 14s, some 13s, brackets. But those were all our state champs that wanted to travel to nationals from our Division One states. So there is no plan for that to get any bigger. I can't get any bigger. I don't have any room. But that can be 16 if ever of 16 states. Now, at that with that point being said, if I had 18 states and I don't only have 16 spots, we're going to take the 2 states closest to each other that have the least amount of teams competing for those Division One spots for the season, and they're going to play a play-in game to come to nationals. Fortunately we didn't have to do that in year 1. We didn't have more than 16 anywhere. So that was the plan, was to make sure our Division One higher caliber teams had a path to where they wanted to have a path without knocking each other out at states or states or regionals.
Is there a region or a state that you really want to see more AYF teams or more AYF representation at nationals?
I'd love to see from everywhere. I mean, obviously the Southeast region, we'd love to have more Florida, more Georgia, more Florida teams and stuff like that. That would be another area. Like the Midwest, we were 5, 6 years ago, the Midwest was 3 states and it's the biggest landmass. Now we have over 20 conferences in the Midwest. We grew by leaps and bounds. So, the Midwest is huge for us now, but the Atlantic, the Big East, those areas are a big base for AYF. And obviously on the West Coast, we'd always like to see some more, but we have a decent presence out on the West Coast. A decent amount of teams that travel, but obviously we'd always like to see more from there.
With all of these like amazing teams, how do you feel when people compare nationals? Like, does that cause any friction within like the teams that come to AYF? Do they ever feel um, maybe pressured because of the comparisons that people have when it comes to this national championship and this national championship?
It's always going to be like that. That's human nature. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to have an opinion, and we know what opinions are. They're like assholes. Everybody has one, and nobody needs two. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it real, and that's what an opinion is. And I used to get worked up about it too, but somewhere around 2 years ago, I said, I think we have a great product. We have a lot of people that want to be a part of it. There's a lane for everyone, and everyone, this is the United States of America. Everyone has a choice for the most part on what they want to do when they want to do it. So there's always going to be somebody's going to always have an opinion. Somebody's think it's better. I mean, I believe we have some of the best teams in the country, but we're not here to cater to the 1%. We're catering to the 100% of football. We started Division III this year for our recreational small markets, the New Mexicos, the Idahos. We had teams from New Mexico and Idaho at AYF Nationals. That never happened before. And they played in a small market, 18 brackets for Division III. So basically now we offer from what we consider our elite, top teams in Division I to our regular, normal, town, league-wide teams in Division Two, and then we have our Division Three, our small market areas, and so we actually are covering all the bases now, and that's we're giving every kid an opportunity to have an experience that they might not have
So
had before.
how many teams?
Because a lot of these events are catering to the elite right now, and if that's what you want to do, that's great, and that's so be it. I'm not interested in standing up and saying we are the supreme mystic ruling number one team in the world. Whoever wins the AYF national championship is the number one team in American youth
So
football
how
that
many
year.
teams would you say it is roughly under the umbrella AYF?
Um, can you repeat that? It
Oh,
didn't
how
come
many
in.
teams would you say under the umbrella AYF? Yeah,
How
how
many
many teams would you
teams?
say you guys have?
We're having a little trouble with this service. If you football and cheerleading teams were roughly around 5,000 members, registered members, between football and cheerleading.
Mm, yeah,
Sheesh. That's crazy.
yeah, that's
Um,
that's
yeah,
crazy
that's a
right
crazy
there.
number, man. So in our comment section, someone asked us to speak on cutoff date. So I'm assuming their question is, have you guys ever thought about going to a 7-1 cutoff date?
No, there's our
Mm-hmm.
cutoff date is our cutoff date. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we have, like I said, we have 25,000 teams that are more than happy with the cutoff date.
Mm-hmm.
We've never had, we have a national meeting every year where our regional directors come to a meeting or virtual or in person, and all
Mm-hmm.
of our leaders from around the country are invited, and it's never been put on the table once to change our birth date.
Okay. Do you? All right. Look, man. One of the things that I would say, that I did hear, right, that may be, misunderstood or whatever. But do you feel like AYF can do a better job at promoting the kids? That's what that's some of the stuff that I actually heard. That was a question that I was asked to ask you. But do you feel like you guys can? Is there anything that you guys have in store to help the kids and the teams be promoted just a little bit more?
I mean, I'm sure we could always do a better job at everything we do. You know what I mean? There's always room for improvement in everything. I mean, I think we have people with us now that are doing a good job of, that are partnering with us and helping us do a good job at that. I mean, our focus is a league based organization. You know what I mean? We're here for, we're the leagues. It's a league based thing. It's not a team based thing. It's not an individual based thing. It's a league based atmosphere, if that makes sense.
Well, I can't say this. Darian, he does the rankings, he does
Hmm.
rankings and stuff like that. I think he is mainly the reason I actually know anything about the AYF. And I
Okay.
think he does a good job at help spotlighting the young men
Hmm.
and stuff like that. But to be honest, I thought that the rankings had something to do with the way that you guys' system is ran, but then I seen that you guys kind of run your system electronically. What made you guys implement that?
We implemented that COVID year. So what used to happen was I remember we're playing down to regional champions. So there's back in the day, there's supposed to be 8 champions from 8 different regions. At that point, we don't know who the number one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and eight are once those regional events happen. So we chose never to try to sit in a room and decide our opinion based, because that's opinion based. It's subjective, not objective. Who when you go that way, it's someone's opinion, and so we made the decision that we always used to seed our tournament pre-COVID year on how the region finished the year before. But that really wasn't fair either because it's not the same group of kids. It might not be the same team. So during the COVID year, we didn't have leagues run. We ran everything off of a team based system and we dealt directly with teams. It was absolutely a nightmare, probably one of the hardest things I had to do in my life because I had to talk to 200 coaches individually instead of talking to set up the tournament. And it
Mm.
was rough, but we got through it. But so that year we decided to do the random draw. And after we did the random draw, our members, for the most part, wanted to keep seeing the random draw, so we stuck with the random draw. We used to use the ping pong ball machine like the lottery does, But this year we went to a digital one to speed up the process, a random number generator that I used the slot machine just for aesthetics. But there was all different ways you could have did it on the software that I had. But we went to the random draw, and the random draw could be a bitch. Sometimes you could get a,
Oh,
sometimes you could get a, you can get a real. You don't want me saying that? I'm sorry.
oh no, 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 no. You
Oh,
No, 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 no. We
oh, I didn't know.
agree
I didn't
with
know if
you.
you. I didn't know
you
if we get
good.
in
No,
trouble or something.
we
No, you
agree
good.
with you.
Yeah.
It was
Oh.
some teams, bro.
Hey.
They had the gauntlet.
Whew.
Yeah, sometimes it can put a national championship game right off the hop. I remember a couple years ago it put Watkins Clock Boys and the Miami Garden Ravens team in round one that night. That was like Butters' team against Mike Brown's team. That was a war that night, and it was round one. I probably had 2,000 people in the stands at Austin Tyndall that night for that game. It was insane. But say sometimes you're going to catch the wrong or the right side of the bracket, however you want to figure it out. Look at NWO, our 7U team from DMVU. They had to play the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes in the first round, right
Hmm.
off the draw, and go to overtime. Then they had I forget who they played in round two, but it was like 24-19 game, like right off the hop. I mean, and then they had
I,
they
I think that was the Fort Lauderdale one.
no, Fort Lauderdale one was a double overtime right off the hop, I
Okay, yeah,
believe.
because I do recall that score.
Yeah, it was their
I
second game
remember
was a tough one too. I forget. I'll remember in a minute. But and then their third game was a little bit of an easier game, the championship game against Primetime, who again I give Primetime Elite a lot of credit. They won the 6U D2 national championship, and they could have very easily stayed in D2. And they went up to D1 and took a shot at 7U, and they made it to the championship game. Was one side of the bracket weighted a little harder than the other? Absolutely. Look at Watkins had a bear to get there. I mean,
I
that's
was getting there. Go
Benson
ahead.
1912 right off the hop. They could have easily lost that first game.
Right.
Absolutely.
I was
Eh,
getting there, man, because
Yeah.
that's one of the ones because him and I was trying to, you know, make the game happen, just by telling the coaches to play the game,
Mhm.
right? It was Watkins and it was North Philly Blackhawks, two of the best teams that y'all
mhm.
had. And then when I seen the electronic system and the gauntlet that Bounty Boys had to go through, and then the easy route that North
Philly.
Philly had, I said, man, I had to question it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to
No,
question it,
I get
but they end up playing. They end up beating the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. They beat 703 in they rematched them of 703 United. They beat what's the other team? North Philly, and I thought it
Hmm.
was one more team.
Benson, Benson,
Oh,
Benson in the first round.
yeah.
First
That
round,
I
Benson
mean, they
Bruins.
had to go through the gauntlet. They had to really go through the gauntlet to get there, and
Hmm.
it was a strong possibility that they wouldn't have made it, but they did,
No,
and they played North Philly, and it wasn't even close. It was
no,
like
no.
that
And it's
whole
surprising. It was surprising because they had to go through hell in that Fort Lauderdale game less than 24 hours before to pull that game out 2019 and
Hmm.
to come out and show zero signs of fatigue and put up 33 points on Philly like that was very impressive because
right.
literally they left everything they had on that football field in that Fort Lauderdale game that night. They had to leave it all out there.
So, out of all the teams that you had a chance to see, who was the most impressive to you?
Absolutely. I was just getting there.
That's a tough one because I'll be honest, I see some, but I don't get to see a lot of
Hmm.
football out there. I mean, I get to see some. Don't get me wrong. And as the day gets on, later in the day, I see more in the evening time when it calms down. But out of all, you're saying all the levels of Division One, who did I think was the most impressive team of the week?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to put the body of work that Watkins put in there as one of them for the week. I
Mm.
think you have to give that OG Ducks 13U team a lot of flowers, man. They 26-20 in overtime. They might have not got out of round one with Primetime Elite. If Primetime Elite don't punt that football and make those mistakes right there, we might not even saw OG get out of round one. And
Right.
meanwhile, they get out of that game. They
Hmm.
go ahead and they win their second game, and then they take down the defending champs in pretty good fashion. They took down Rod Mack and that Raven team. Don't get me wrong. The Raven team was on their sixth game in 13 days, which is a lot of football. You know what I mean? But so was OG because they played them both
Hmm.
as well. But that was a pretty impressive run by OG to take that down after playing that many football games too.
Craig,
Yeah.
do you have a most like you've been doing this for so long? Do you just have a team that sticks out or a moment, a AYF moment that just sticks out to you?
Like a game moment.
Game moment. Um, it can be a team moment. It could be anything like something AYF, down at nationals that you like, man, like I'll never forget the day that this happened.
Yeah, I don't know how long you guys have been paying attention to us, but back in, I can't remember the year, but there was a couple moments back in the day. Chandler Bears
Hmm.
had a very impressive team. I think they were 13U that year, and they played OG Ducks at Austin Tyndall Park. And literally, if you go and watch the YouTube video, it is standing room only around all four sides of the temporary fence. It was, I mean, OG had got the snot kicked out of them by Chandler in Arizona, and then came back. And if I do recall, they won that game on a field goal
Mm.
at the end of the game. I mean, it was thousands of people there. And then another moment, and this will involve Bryce Young when he threw that touchdown pass, to beat the Central Virginia Hurricanes with like 2 seconds left on the clock in the back corner of the end zone to that Xavier Alfonso kid from the Ducks was another night that was absolutely bananas at that park. There's been some good ones. I mean, but
Hmm.
I could probably, if I sat down, I could probably come up with the top 10. But I'm just putting some older games out there.
I coach, you mentioned the uh the Ravens playing in another nationals, or I
Oh yeah,
mean, yeah, just
YNC, yeah.
playing in general. What is your thoughts on that? Is this something that you kind of avoid or prevent, or what's your thoughts?
It's, as long as, like I tell all our teams, if you want to go do both, by all means, just don't ask me for any accommodations on game times or game days. My schedule's set. We played almost I think it was 298 games on 9 fields in 6 days. I can't make schedule adjustments. You know what I mean? My schedule is my schedule. I pride myself on our games start on time. They, obviously barring overtime or injuries, and our schedule is set and it doesn't change. There might be one or two anomalies that happen during the week and we have to do something, but it's because we have to do something. So I tell them, just get your accommodations from the other event and you're good to go. So I don't like it personally. I think it's too much football for kids, but that's a personal opinion, and I'm not responsible for those kids. If those kids' parents want them to do that and play that much football and they trust their coaches, it's fine. But for the most part, I would say 90% of the time, people that try to play in both win zero. It's too much
Yeah,
football. It's only
yeah.
been a few teams that pulled it off.
Yeah, luckily OG did it. They end up playing also, in another nationals, and then they end up, beating the other team that played in the same national, which is
Yeah.
Miami Garden Ravens. So both of them probably could have been under fatigue, you know what I'm saying? But had they played somebody else, probably would have been a different outcome.
Listen, OG's an AYF program. They've been an AYF program since 2011. Keefe works for a company that sponsors the other event, so he's obligated to take his team there. That's fine. We know that. We know that's going to happen every year. He gets his accommodations over there. We're good to go. There's only one OG team that has to go there. It's the one he coaches. Rod Mack is coming to AYF. He hasn't been to YNC in a long time. He wanted his lick back from rare breeds. That's why he went there. I told me
Mhm.
that right on the phone. You know what I mean? I respect Rod as a man. He's a good person, and you know what? If that's what he needed to do, I respected his decision. But he said if it interfered, he was coming to AYF to defend his title before he was going there, and he was able to work it out. It was 2 different weeks, and things worked out well.
Right. Hey, coach. So you mentioned something about the D2 earlier, and I didn't get a
Hmm.
chance to ask this question. Why do you guys make them sign up in the beginning of the season, as opposed to later in the season, for
We
D2?
don't. We don't. The conferences have three choices on we make them declare a status for Division 3 by August 25th. So your league, we'll just call it whatever league we want to call it, the Topeka Kansas Youth Football League has three choices. They can be all Division 2, which means they don't want any Division 1 representation. And again, If they don't have any history of competing at Division One and having a high level of skill coming out of there, then that's fine. They can split their league in half preseason and say these 6 teams are D1, these 6 teams are D2 based on historical data about how those age levels have played over the years. And they can play each other for the regular season games and cross over. But at the end, the top teams in this sixth group and this sixth group will play each other, will not play each other. They'll play their own playoff at home for Division One and Division Two. Or if you have minimum of 6 teams, preferably 8, but minimum of 6, you can do a postseason designation. Your top 4 teams can play division, or top 3 can play Division One playoff, and your next 3 can play for the Division Two spot. So there is 3 options.
Okay.
So even at the end of a season, someone can
Mhm.
say, "We're just too good for Division Two. We're gonna go D1."
Yes, as long as there's a spot for them, if they wait
Okay.
that long, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, if there's a spot for them, yes, but that's what the postseason designation is for a league that has, like let's just use where the Philly Blackhawks come from PA Elite AYF. They do the postseason. They take their top 4, and that's their D1 playoffs, and their 5 through 8's their D2 playoffs.
Okay. So if there's a spot basically in your playoffs, you
For
have a
states,
chance
yes.
to.
For states,
Okay.
yes. Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Is there
We
ever a
always
time
want
where?
somebody wants to step up to the plate and play big boy football and go Division One. We're not going to tell them no. We're going to find a way
Okay.
to make it happen.
Hmm. Okay. So is there ever a time where you tell a team you've been winning D2 too much? It's time to
Mhm.
come to D1.
Yeah, there's a team there's a team or two that are going to get that right now after this year, after what just
Okay.
happened.
Could Powerhouse Elite be one of those?
I mean, this was their first time winning in a while. You know what I mean? They've had a couple years off. I mean, they're probably a conversation. There's a younger team I think that just won 6 and 7 or 7 and 8
Hmm.
that's going to be told but they don't need to be told. They already told us they're going up. You know what I mean? They already told us. So I'd rather guys do the right thing so we don't have to do it. But yes, there's a time. Yes, there's definitely a time. We don't want people staying down and sandbagging and knocking the crap out of teams that when they should be up there stepping up to the plate.
All right, so we're gonna go. I want to go to the 7U. Why do you guys allow them the 7U to have coaches on the field at that age?
It's what our guys voted. I mean, like I said, if the guys at our meeting, if it comes up and they want to vote it out, it could be taken out. They don't have to have the coach on the field. That's an option. Coach can coach from the sidelines. It's not mandated.
Got you.
That's a choice. But that's what the difference is. Like if one of my regions comes up with a rule change and sends it into us before our meeting in March, it says we'd like to remove the coaches from the field at 7U. We send that out to all the 8 regional guys. They run it through their league presidents and they get a consensus. And then we take 8 votes from 8 regions. However it votes is however it goes. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't sit there and say this is no. Craig wants a coach on the field and it's going to stay there. If they
Right.
vote that they don't want it, we're going to change it.
Hold on.
Got
This
So
you.
is the
for the
this
for
is
the
the members run this league. You know what I mean? Without members, we don't have a league.
so
So
for
we
the
so,
record,
so
Craig.
him and I will be able to
Yeah.
get an application so we can vote because I'm telling you now, I'm voting no because you guys play and I like NWO. I think they're like on the verge. They're going to
Yeah,
be
it's a
a
good team. It's a
really
good
good
team.
team. But the only thing is when they play the team like Supreme, see Supreme, they don't have coaches on the field. And they're not used to that, and they play versus NWO, which the team did have coaches on the field. So, and I think they're good enough to actually do without coaches. So, and then I feel like it put them a little bit behind. You know what I'm saying? So if we can do without that, coach, I would love to have a spot at the table when it comes to that. So my vote can matter. But go ahead. No.
No, like I said, it's on the people. Whatever the people need or what they want. That's I don't have to coach a team. I'm not coaching a 7U team. I'm not coaching youth football ever again in my life. I can promise you that. The last coaching job I had was at high school 4 years ago, and I'm done with that as well. So you know what I mean. At this point, whatever the people need to if they don't want to have coaches on the field, they don't have to. But I really don't see that ever coming off the table because they're going to say, why would we get rid of it when some guys want it, some guys don't? And I don't think it would go through because you do have an option not to do it.
Okay. All right. So I'm glad to know that. Glad to know that. So that was one misconception, that they had to be on the field, and you really, and it's just the league rule. Nah, okay. So it's up to the coaches, and they have to vote, not unanimously, but they definitely had to vote more in favor of
Yeah,
taking that.
well, the regional vote, if it's got to be 5-3, you know what I mean, for it to pass. Yes.
Got you. We can't hear you.
Can you
You
hear
out.
me?
No.
Oh.
He's speaking, but we can't hear him. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Now I hope you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Craig, you just said something that really just shook the table for me. So you said that you don't make those decisions. You don't make a lot of decisions. That they go to a regional vote, and the regional directors make a lot of the decisions for AYF.
No, they send them to their leagues. No, I'm talking
Okay.
about. I mean, we obviously AYF made the original rule book before I was here,
Right.
but I'm talking about changing the rule book or changing policies and procedures. That's all done on a vote.
Okay.
You know,
So
like
so
so.
so people can change rules.
Hmm?
Y'all not opposed to rule changes. It's just that the
No.
members of AYF like these rules.
Well, either they like them or they just don't want to change them. One or the other.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that
man.
changed that changed the other misconception that
Yeah,
you
that's a
guys are
misconception
just,
that
yeah.
y'all just make
Well,
everybody do all these things and that nobody don't even be want to do this stuff. It's just the AYF rule.
let's talk about that real quick.
Mhm.
The same people that are saying that have never even been here. So that's discrediting to get credit, if you want to call it that, and it's narrative spinning, and quite frankly, it's a bunch of bullshit to feed into an agenda, if you want to call it what it is.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
I'll go back to being positive.
No, please.
Yeah, no,
You
we
are all
definitely wanted to get.
so
I mean, me personally, that kind of threw me off a little bit when you said if the coaches wanted to change the coaches on the field, they could vote on it and we would change it.
Right? Like what? Like put it like I said. Each region is going to get a letter when I get back from the National All Star Game at the Pro Bowl in a couple weeks. They're going to get the information. Hey, our national meeting is going to be this date in March. Please ask all your league presidents if they have any rule changes they want to submit by this date. The region will get them all together, submit them to me. I'll put them all together in a document, send them back to the 8 regional guys, send them all out to your league presidents and find out what their vote is on each one. Then you put it together in your region, and your region has, say, the Midwest has 18 conferences. Okay, they vote 11-7. Yes, they want to make this rule change that this Atlantic region proposed. So when it comes time to vote at the meeting, the Midwest is going to vote yes on behalf of the Midwest regional guy is going to vote yes on behalf of the will of his league leaders. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's definitely it's probably more democratic than the elections we just had a couple weeks ago.
and the thing is, I actually like the structure that you guys have and that you offer. There are just some things that I just felt like it was stringent on, like it was
There
right.
is.
And one of them though, it was, I felt like the kids worked so hard to get to where they at. And I just thought like the celebration. I seen a lot of people get unsportsmanlike conduct, right? For their celebration. But then I was thinking, like, is that one of the things that can actually be voted on to
No.
kind of change to allow them to,
I mean, I guess it.
celebrate?
I mean, it's we're playing under NFHS rules with high school officials, and we're playing under high school rules. So our officials are going to call what they're taught to call as a high school official. When we're down at, especially down at nationals. I mean, you can't show me. And if it wasn't because the Ohio crew had an emergency and had to back out, because the year before I played 9 fields every day, and I had 9 crews from 9 different states. This year I had 9 crews from 8 states because when Ohio backed out, I had to grab a crew from Miami, and then I had Orlando, Miami, so 2 from Florida. We have referees from all over the country. This is not the local referees association from whatever town you're playing your tournament in. These are certified high school officials from 9 different states every year.
Okay. Um, We do usually we allow people to kind of call in. I don't know if you're okay with that. Are you okay with that? Allow a couple of people to call in to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, no, go ahead. Sportsman.
Okay, so I do want to answer this one person, Boss Dog. You guys ever go 7-1? So we already asked that, and Craig said that nobody, and correct me if I'm wrong, no one has ever really asked to go 7-1.
No one
So
has ever
I
put in
think
a
that's a
rule change to go
misconception as
7-1.
well.
Nope.
I think there's a misconception to say that that y'all are choosing to not go 7-1, but in all actuality, your members are okay with the 731 um the 731 date. So I ain't gonna lie, that kind of threw me off when you said that too, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you since I've been doing this job since
Hmm.
2015, I've never had a rule change request come in to change the age cutoff.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's, I mean, that's a fact. I've never had it. I
Yeah.
mean, I have no reason, to say it one way or the other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because if that's what they wanted, that's what we would do.
Hmm.
But, you know, at the same token, you know, 7-1 is a lot newer than 731. 731's been around since Pop Warner started.
Absolutely.
And that's, so at some point maybe things will change. I don't know,
Hmm.
but we do see, and we have seen it, and it's starting to become more evident when we are at a disadvantage when we play 7-1 teams. I don't
Hmm.
care if anybody wants to tell everybody it's only a month. You're right, it's only a month, but it's really not a month to a 731 team. It's a year, because that kid or that three kids that team can have to be on your older team if you're a 731 team.
Hmm.
Does that make it sense how I'm spinning
Absolutely.
that? It's a
Absolutely.
year. So to the team that wants to say it's only a month because they want to validate the game, it's not to the team that's 731. But like I tell my teams, if you're a 12-year-old team, your 12U team, go look at your 13-year-old team. If
Hmm.
you have kids born in July and they're on your 13-year-old team and you have one, two, or three of them, if they make your team better, then you're at a disadvantage when you play a 7-1 team. Because they have those kids you don't have. If they don't make your team better, then by all means, go play that game. It's fair. It should be fair and level in your mind.
Okay, so we got somebody on the line. Um, hello, how you doing? Thank you for calling in.
What's going on, Craig? Pain in the ass from Atlanta, Georgia, man. What's going on, man?
Who is that?
This is Zay.
You pain in your
What's
This
up,
is
buddy?
Zay Born Chaser.
ass.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy. Sometimes he just can't help himself.
Hey, man. Hey, Craig, man. This off season, we're going to make it right, man. Just do it right, man. We're going to make it right,
Why, you finally coming over to the right side?
man.
That's the
Hey,
only way
man,
you
I'm
can
on
make it
every
right.
side. I'm on every side. I'm
What's
on
up?
every side. But look, though, no, real shit, though. I'm supposed to be talking to the regional director from Georgia this week. So I definitely plan on talking to y'all, talking to you soon too. We're gonna make
You
we're
have
gonna
my
plan.
you have my phone
We
number.
gotta we got you said what?
You have my phone number.
I don't have your phone number.
Well, you have my inbox then. Inbox me, and I'll give you my phone number.
Nah, for sure. We need that presence everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all got a platform too where we can send some kids to and you know what I'm saying, get it popping. You know what I'm saying? We
Let's
gotta get
do
some
it.
a lot of Georgians in there, the real ones, not the fake ones.
A little birdie out in California told me I might be hearing from you, and you know who I'm talking about. So
Nah, that's my boy. But yeah, like I said, I like what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? We talk our shit. You know what I'm saying? We do what we do. But y'all do have a great platform for the kids. You know what I'm saying?
you
So
recorded this,
on the
right?
IBT.
You recorded this?
I mean, hey man, this shit everywhere.
Everybody has
So
a
it's
good
only way I'll be
platform.
doing a disservice
Everybody has a
to
good
my state.
platform.
I'll be doing I'll be doing a disservice to my state that if I didn't send teams there. You know what I'm saying? I got to send teams everywhere because I want everybody to feel this shit that we're doing here. So I definitely plan on sending some things down the future.
Did you have a chance to get to listen to some of the stuff that he actually said in order for you guys to get registered for the AYF?
Nah, I heard what he said, the little $40 shit, all that. You know,
You're gonna talk to Jermaine. Talk to Jermaine. You know Jermaine.
Yeah. I heard everything he said. It ain't got no. For honestly, in Atlanta, there's nobody room for you. So if it ain't nobody room for you, nobody gonna ever do it. But if you got somebody like me, you know what I'm saying, room for you, you know what I'm saying, it might mean something. This is the only thing it is. Is nobody have ever done it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's
Right.
it's a bit new.
Let's do it.
And we got a lot
Let's
of
do it.
teams at 7-1. So we gotta figure out how to, you know what I'm saying, curve all these to make the 8-1 teams. To make an 8-1 team. You know what I'm saying? But it's a small thing to a giant though. We'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. You're smart enough to figure it out. It's not that hard.
Atlanta, come on, Atlanta, go AYF. That's what's up, man. We need it.
We're ready.
Nah, look though, Ken, y'all, but we got a lot of teams here, bro. We have a lot of teams.
Ooh.
Somebody can go and represent.
Fact.
Does it make sense to continue to send 4 teams one place? That shit don't be making sense to me. Like, let's spread this shit out to where everybody's feeling what we're doing right now. This is what we're doing in Atlanta is historical right now. Everybody need to feel this shit. So I feel like we spread it out to, you know what I'm saying? Let the world feel it. We'll be all right.
So-
We got a lot of teams, bro.
So when you decide or get the ball rolling on that, are you looking for certain teams to kind of be like a OG Ducks, just specifically play for AYM? Like or are you looking to?
Yeah. So I would
Okay.
say so. Like, bro, we can listen in August. You know what you have, and you know if you're going to be YNC ready, UTN ready, AYF ready, D1 Nation. You know what you are, and you know what you have. So let's go and declare it and just make this your path.
Gotcha.
That's how I'm thinking of it. That's how I look at it. I'm not stupid. I just feel like
You're putting a good spin on it. You're thinking outside the box like nobody else is thinking about it. It's a good idea.
yeah, it don't make sense for us to send 14 to one platform. That just my like just being in this shit. I want to spread it. Look, I want to win everything. That's literally what I want to do. I want to win everything. I don't want no other state to go back and be like, did we won something? I want to win everything. I feel like we can't do it. We can build a strictly 8-1 team. Or I've seen teams be 7-1 and then take their team down to 8-1 when they go down to AYL.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you got to do it right. You got to have them dogs. You got to have a good coaching staff, and you can't go into it thinking, "Shit, AYF ain't there. Well, we gonna run through this shit." So you don't go down and get your ass whooped.
It's not as sweet as some people like to make it out. Believe me, it ain't that sweet.
No, it ain't, bro. Them folks play like them DMV teams. They play real good football, and they know what they're gonna do. Like they play triple wing T. Like they run that shit all year. You're not gonna possibly stop that shit in one weekend.
Mm-hmm. Right. They
You
perfect.
gotta lock in. You can't think it's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's good. Let's make it happen.
Good stuff.
That's all I.
Yeah, I think that's a
for
good
sure.
look
I
though.
Good stuff, say.
Those are teams.
Even if it doesn't happen this year, I feel like we can push for it to happen in the future. Like we talk, man. Me and Craig, we talk shit, but when we see each other personally, it's love, bro. We just talking shit is just what I do. If I ain't talking shit to you,
I don't take it personally.
Yeah.
That's
So
just-
I
that's
mean,
just,
but
you know
look
what I'm saying?
though,
That's the nature of the game.
but look though, Zay. I mean, you ain't got to take it off the table because I mean, if you could get the ball rolling and get people on board, you know what I'm saying? Like right away, because they hearing this, right? They hearing that it can be made, right? Everything can happen
sure.
if people are not dragging their feet. And I just hope that some people
For
just
sure, but
don't
you
think
know,
that they
anything
above.
you do, you know, people ain't gonna believe off real.
Yeah,
It may take one team to make people believe that we can do it.
yeah.
You gotta make people believe, bro. Like
Somebody has to say it's okay. That's all. Somebody says it's okay.
we had really, really good teams. So now one of them teams went 8-1 and went to go win AYL. Come on, man.
Yeah.
We've sent 4 teams to one place.
Listen, I've been told by plenty of people in Atlanta that they like the platform, they like the structure. They just don't fit into the date. I mean,
yeah.
listen,
And that's how they know.
I don't think nobody's pushing forward. It's not even a date. It's just nobody's pushing for it. It's nobody campaigning for it. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. It ain't really the date because we don't really have that many July kids on one team. It's really not the date. It's just nobody down here is campaigning for it, like
Okay.
with a voice. You might have your people down here that's AYF, but they don't really have a voice for real. Ain't nobody listening to them.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Yeah.
point.
I
So
mean,
if you got that, if you keep on putting this in the air, you know what I'm saying? You can make it happen.
yeah, they got to make a league, the whole entire league A1 though. And that's the thing, you know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
no, you don't. No, you don't. Nowhere. But listen, bro. I already got the
Wait,
recipe. I ain't gonna get a recipe out. It's out. The recipe is already here. Every league we got in Georgia is up on the AYL. Let me just put that down. Let me just put that down to you. All these leagues in Georgia is up on the AYL, but nobody in the league is campaigning for it.
Right.
All these leagues are AYL, bro.
we have plenty of guys in Atlanta that pay for our local membership to buy our insurance and just don't go to regionals and nationals. You know, there's two sides to this thing.
But I'll say that I would like to ask this question though. Okay, because you said that if the coaches decided that they wanted to make the league 7-1, that's something that the majority has to vote on, right? So do you feel like, because I want to ask this question, do you feel like 731, right? The 731-81 date is what secure AYF, you know, far as the teams, or do you feel like going 7-1 would kind of hurt the brand?
I think going 7-1 would probably make the brand even bigger than it is.
I do too. I do. So can we as coaches kind of get the ball going for the 7-1s? Could we do that? You feel what I'm saying?
You know what? I would say this though, Ken, because I used to coach in Daytona for Daytona Beach
Yeah, you
Cowboys.
were.
They
Yeah.
were AYF team. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. You would be surprised at the amount of people that don't even think about 7-1, bro. Before I moved to Georgia, 7-1 never even
Never.
crossed my mind. I didn't even know teams
Mm.
were
Me neither.
7-1.
Me neither.
So you'd be surprised at how many teams don't even think about like 7-1 and being bigger. Like some teams, they just go out there and they told 731, they just go out there and coach
So
7-1.
then,
But
They
you
don't
gotta
even think about it. It's
understand
not a
though.
big deal.
Let me put this while we on here. Let me put this out there. 7-1 didn't start from nationals. It started with some in-state shit in Georgia.
Yes.
Like this did not start for us to get the up on other states. This started on some Georgia shit, bro.
Mhm.
And then really like
Mhm.
it's like people created a league 7-1, and then it made all the other leagues in Georgia adopt to it. So it really had nothing to do with nationals. It was way before nationals, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Wasn't Georgia a June
we
birthday
didn't
at one
make this
point?
rule. You said
Say,
what?
wasn't Georgia 6-1 back in the day too?
No. We was 8-1.
8-1. Okay.
We was 8-1. Like, you understand? I'm only
Mhm.
27, so I played in this 8-1 stuff.
Wow,
I
you
played it.
look like shit for
Okay.
27.
So I
That was my
played
turn.
this
That was my
8-1
turn.
birthday.
hey, so we got
Yeah,
to go back.
listen, you can have it, man. You can have it.
We got to go back to Boss
So
Dog.
I played.
It's a possibility.
I played.
I'm going.
I played in 8-1, bro. Like,
Mhm.
so and I say this though, bro. July, August, really the same thing. Like if we look at it, the birthdays, them are the same kids that's a month, like they are a month early or something like that. We go to school early. July, August birthdays, you go to a month of school early. All them July, August birthdays, them kids need to get reclassed when they get to high school. If we keep it real, it's the same thing.
Hey, Money
You're all
Muscling.
graduating high school at 17 years old.
Hey, Money Muscler said if a child's playing 7U and turn 8 during the season, he think they should go up to 8U in the season for every age group. So if
So now you looking at calendar year. Now you looking at calendar year. Then you'll have so bet. So what you do now is every birthday. If you go now, when it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
So now you looking at calendar. So you 12/31 birthday. They gonna the December birthday is gonna be up then. It's every cutoff that you have, somebody's gonna win. There's no way around it. It's just the
Correct.
August birthday is universal. But I'm gonna ask Craig this. do you see that like the whole country kind of like adopted this 7-1 birthday? Do you see that now? Like you see your South Florida that adopted it. Like when do y'all kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of wake up to what's going on?
There's, like I said, our members have not asked to change the birthday, and if they ask, we'll discuss it.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
Nah, for sure.
They have complained about the birth dates. And
What do you mean?
Man,
like not your members.
Not for real though, bro. Not for real.
No, because
Bro,
when they
them
say,
folks over there, they love that shit.
oh yeah, it's just something that they probably love. But then when you talking about they older, they 7-1, or they this, they that, and then you kind of make that as an excuse, but there's an opportunity to really make it 7-1. But then now that it's out there, let's see who will try to change it. Are they going to keep complaining about y'all older, y'all, y'all 7-1, we 8-1, we this, we that. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that it just wasn't no hope. Now that we understand that it is, you know what I'm saying? Like I
There's
just want
always
to,
hope.
huh? Yeah,
There's
yeah,
always hope.
But what I would like to ask this
But
question.
I don't think those members would really want. Like, can you imagine Georgia really going? Well, I don't think those members would really like that. So I think they would kind of keep it closed off. You know what I'm saying? I really don't think that they would really want us to go over there 7-1, bro. Is you crazy, kid? like they don't want to get terrorized by us, bro. So I think they would keep it closed off.
I don't think so. It sounds like Craig don't
And that's
mind.
why I'm finna steal.
Georgia
That's why I'm
teams
finna
coming.
steal since some members
Greg's
over
gonna
there.
administer and run his show to whoever wants to be here.
Thank you. Hey, so look, I will ask you this question, Jose. What you think about Lambo and ABA going AYF? This was a question that was asked.
I mean, why? They at the end of their, you know what I'm saying, youth career. It just didn't make, it wouldn't make sense to change it for 1 year. Like they probably have a lot of July kids at this point. So why would you try to even curve a roster at 13?
Yeah, that was asked right here.
Like when we changed to 7-1, it started at the bottom. It started with the 5 U's going up. I remember when we changed it. Like
it's where it has to start. It has to start at the bottom.
Yeah, you start at the bottom and you go up. That's how we initially went July.
And this is PA. He says if everyone was 7-1, then Georgia no longer has the advantage.
Shout out to PA trenches.
I mean, I guess, but like I mean, it is what it is.
Well, no matter if it's an advantage or not, the conversation goes away.
I don't think it's advantage.
For sure.
I would just say with me, I don't think 8-1 a month makes a difference.
It is, bro. It is. But listen, bro. I'm gonna tell you. Listen. When you look at
this guy is just spitting out so much good stuff tonight.
You talking about Dave?
What do you say?
He's spitting out so
many good sound bites for me tonight.
I'm a real one, though, bro. I'm a real one. When we
with age comes wisdom, Zay.
That ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like we got some real killers at 7-1, bro. Absolutely. Like real shit. we got some real killers at July birthdays. But it's an advantage. But it's like they got some good 8. Like we done lost to some 8-1. We done lost to some 8-1 birthdays. And they don't. They came to keep that ass.
Man,
it's an 8-1 team that done won YNC.
I don't. Hey, absolutely. You said that to prove my point, though, Zay. I don't think 8-1, 7-1 makes a difference. I don't. I really don't.
While you're on that subject, let's kick that around for 10 seconds.
Yes, sir.
So let's hear my theory on it, and then you guys can tell me if you think I'm crazy or not. So I just was talking about it before. So I got a 12-year-old team that's 731. I got a 13-year-old team that's 731. I'm my 12U coach. I go look at my 13-year-old roster, and I got 3 kids born in July, right? That means if I was a 7-1, those 3 kids could play for my 12U team. We're all following me?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't.
Right.
So if I look at those 3 kids, and those 3 kids are dogs, and those kids make my team better, and I go play somebody that's a 7-1 team at 12U, I'm at a disadvantage because they have those kids I can't have. It's not a month. It's a year to a 731 team because that kid born in that month has to play a whole year older. It's not a month. It's a year. That's my theory, looking at it from a guy who's 731. Now, if you got a guy that likes 7-1, he's going to roll with the way you explained it. You know what I mean?
No,
It's only a month.
for sure. And I say that, but it's still a month though. But I definitely see what you're saying.
But
I
football, it's a
definitely-
year. It's a year. You got to play a year older. In my league.
They do, but that ain't got nothing to do with your team that they playing though.
No. Has nothing to do with them. No, it's a month older when they're playing them. Yes, agreed.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah, if you don't think those kids make you better, then it's a fair game.
Ooh, they both the youngest in the class. In July and August birthday, they both the youngest in the class. They get to high school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
absolutely.
It is what it is.
Listen, a July birthday on the East Coast up by me doesn't go to school with the same kids because we don't start school till September. You guys start school early in August. So that July kid goes to school down in South. Up in the Northeast by me, that kid don't go to school with the kid with a September birthday. He goes to school a year younger.
Okay, cool. But still, even the August kid birthday.
Yeah.
Ain't the August kid birthday the youngest in the class?
Yeah, most likely, but we're a September cutoff up here. We're September.
We're doing him a disservice too.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm on your side.
I went to high school, but I'm the youngest in the class. Well, I graduated at 17. Damn, my man reclassed me. I'm him in high school. So I know when they
Yeah, man. But
yeah. I feel like
we done with this guy. We got anybody else that wants to talk to us?
Yeah, I'm gone.
Yeah, get out of here.
I appreciate you.
Hey, Craig, don't try to keep by the phone like that, bro. Don't do that, bro.
Call me. I'm teasing you. Call me. We'll make it work.
I'm gone, Ken. I'll see y'all Tuesday, bro.
I bet. But yeah, moving forward, man, I definitely I don't look at it as a big deal. You know, I just know that I heard a lot of individuals from AYF say how, you know, this team is 7-1 and oh shoot.
You good?
Hold on, let me cut this off. All right, yeah. So you know, it just doesn't make that big of a difference to me, you know. But I think we got a lot of stuff out of the way when it comes to, you know, the things that they say about AYF. Now we know that a lot of the stuff can be changed, right? If they decide that they want to vote on it. And it doesn't come off to me as if you guys are as strict as, you know, as I thought. You know what I'm saying? Like things can be changed, things can be addressed, you know, everything can be kind of talked about at least, you know, and, you know what I'm saying? So like I appreciate that about you guys. And I thank Darian for putting me on so many of y'all teams. And I would like to be honest too. I would like to help, you know, kind of you know, spotlight some of them kids, man. But y'all gotta put us on the board. Y'all gotta put us, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get some say, man, you know, because it seemed like that some of them coaches ain't trying to move the needle, man. You know,
sometimes people are just happy with what they got and they're content.
And that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, Ken, you'd be surprised, bro, at how many coaches are oblivious and just could care less about 7-1. I'm telling you, 4 years ago, I didn't know nothing about 7-1. I didn't know nothing about it. I was AYF 731. That's just what it is. I didn't know that I didn't even know that there was really that many teams that was 7-1 until I moved to Georgia, and I was like, oh, like this is a thing. Like some of the biggest teams is 7-1. I didn't know that. Right. So yeah, I kind of understand where Craig comes from, and he say, well, nah, our members, they're cool with the way we do things. And I'm gonna tell you why. I think it's because it's more of, you know, what you're getting every single year. It's you're never confused. You know what the rules are. I think the only thing I ever really kind of wasn't a fan of was the play rule.
Nah, that comes up from everybody. Yeah, the
You know
NPR
what I'm
rule.
saying? I wasn't a fan of the play rule
No.
because when you get into the big games, they used to get in the way.
Yeah. You got to be able to figure out a way. I mean, I get it, but unfortunately, that's probably, or fortunately, however you want to
Mhm.
look at it, that's something that's always been one of the pillars that it was built on. It's one of our president's big dues.
Okay.
Every kid must get his plays. So that'd be a hard sell to change.
Hold on. I must let somebody have it real quick. He said, AYF don't want y'all on the board. AYF doing great without the birth dates y'all want.
Who
Hey,
said that?
excuse me, EM.
Shout
Land,
out to EM.
okay? It'll be great with us being an addition. What are you talking about? Us being an addition to anything is great. You know why? Because we for the kids.
We love these kids.
You gotta
Craig is
come. You gotta come. You gotta come down and see it, man. You
You know
gotta
what I'm
come down to
saying?
Naples and see it.
yeah.
Oh
What
yeah.
what made y'all move from Kissimmee? Because I've seen y'all in Kissimmee. I haven't seen y'all since y'all moved to Naples.
Well, I mean, it got a little difficult in Orlando to deal with
Okay.
the facility and stuff. There was some issues that happened outside of our event. There was a major problem at a 7-on-7 there where somebody got beat to almost the point of death, and
Mm.
the
Wow.
sheriffs came in with the last year we were at Austin Tyndall. If anybody saw, we used to have 8 sheriffs in the park. We had 40.
Hmm. Right.
You can't run an event with that bill. You can't run an event with that bill. And P.S. I mean, the facility in Naples, you can't find me a better facility to play.
Hmm.
What On Sunday we play our first game, and on Friday we play our 300th game, and the field looks exactly the same.
That's
It's
amazing.
not dirt, you know what I mean? It's all turf. Everything it's turf, palm trees, food truck park. It's just it's a different atmosphere. Don't get me wrong. Naples is in Orlando. There's not as much to
Mhm.
do for the kids, but it's if you take the attitude, it's a business trip, and we're putting a national championship on the best facility for the best teams in the country. You can't find one of that. You can't find. I watched a lot of videos when I got back.
This
Watch
guy
one.
right here,
The fields look like
you
shit
know,
everywhere.
Mhm.
Brandon Brandon Jones is he's a good fan of y'all's. He love what y'all do. So I'm sure that
Most
he
critical man in the
he
world,
had a
right there,
couple of
man.
questions. You know, he haven't asked him yet though. He said
Mhm.
GA always cheating. That's why 7-1 came about. Man, that's what I'm saying, man. This is why I said what I said, Craig. This is why. Because my guy right here, he says GA always cheating. That's why they 7-1 came about. See,
Who
they
is
make
that
it
guy? I don't
seem
even know who that guy is.
he's one of the representative for Bounty Boys.
Oh, okay.
So they just won it.
Oh, yeah.
But
Well, I don't know him
they beat the
personally.
YNC team. They beat the YNC team, which is great. I got them at my number one. I do. But I'm getting tired of hearing this 7-1-8-1 thing as if it's a difference. Yes, Georgia is 7-1. You guys are 7-31, 7 or 8-1 cutoff. I get it. It's not much of a difference, though. It's not. I know y'all want to think that, but it's not much of a difference.
Listen,
Hey, Craig.
if the AYF teams stay inside AYF and only play AYF team, it's never be a difference. But I'm gonna tell you what, that'd be a big problem for 7-1 teams that are looking for big games because they'd be starving.
Mm.
Ooh, that's a clip right
You
there.
want to call it real?
That
That's
one
real.
that one might go viral, Craig. I ain't gonna lie
Hey,
to you.
that
Yeah,
yeah, that
It's
that
okay.
one right there.
I've been viral before. We're good.
That might. So Brandon Jones wants to know: will there ever be a YNC versus AYF tourney? Why or why not?
Yeah, tell him to put it on. I'm too busy. I don't got time. Tell him to put it on. We'll tell our teams about it.
So basically, Brandon, you've been missing. But what Craig kind of is saying right there is Craig is not going to deny a team, is what it sounds like to me, if they want to go play Hey, we're champions over here. We want to go play over there. We want to play a tournament afterwards.
Craig doesn't own any teams. Craig can't deny
So,
anybody to do what they want to do.
so I think the misconception is that you guys would never allow it.
We,
Hey,
we
see,
just we just we just allow it all the time. Look, you know what I mean. What the AYF champs? Look at Rod Mack's team went down and played Rare Breed in Atlanta and Cam Newton's thing. That's AYF champ versus YNC champ, right? Didn't that
Mhm.
happen in August? I was there. I flew in. I was at the game.
What? Craig in the building.
I was there. I was on the sidelines till Cam threw us off after the little scuffle that almost started before the game. But I was there. I was there for the 11U game beforehand on the sidelines with the Ravens 11U.
For sure.
So how do you feel about the addition of C1N? I know a lot of people have been telling us that they feel like there are too many nationals. What do you feel about that?
I really don't have much of a comment on it at all. I really am not too educated on what they did. I really was too busy at that time of the year to even pay a lot of attention. I know they had, I believe, some 14 brackets off the gate. I mean, they're doing their thing. I don't hear them. I don't hear them being negative towards anybody else's thing. So
Right.
there's
Right.
they're in their lane doing what they're doing. I mean,
Mhm.
you can't fault the guy for he's trying to give the kids an opportunity to do something, and he has the means to do that, and he's sharing something that he doesn't have to share with the rest of the world. Good luck to them.
But yeah, man, I think I appreciate your time.
Mhm.
One thing that I will say is I would love to get acclimated with more teams that are under your umbrella. Um, and I would like to kind of reach out to you to see how we can go about, seeing those teams that are under the radar. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? And kind of putting them in the spotlight and stuff like that. Cause we do things to try to help these kids get some exposure and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I will definitely be reaching out to you just to kind of try to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? To help these babies, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I really appreciate you coming on. Anything else that you got to say, Fanatic?
Nah, man, I really appreciate it. It's a lot of clarification, and it's a lot of misconceptions that got cleared up today.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on and giving me an opportunity to clear up the misconceptions that are out there, and just to talking a little football stuff. It was a nice time, and you guys seem to I've watched a few of your broadcasts, and that's why I said, hey, you know what, these guys seem like they're doing it right. Let me see if I can throw this face on there for a few minutes and talk a little. But we're getting ready now. We're heading to the we take our top 68th graders east and west to the NFL Pro Bowl every year.
Oh,
We're official event of the Pro Bowl. This is year 5. So we'll our kids, we're going out to Orlando. We have 30 east, 30 west. NFL sponsors the whole thing through Nike. I got all Nike uniforms, coaches gear. We're going to take every kid to the Pro Bowl. We're going to play our game on Saturday night. This will be the 16th or 17th time we've done it over the years. So that's our next event in 2 weeks. We're heading down to Orlando for that.
yep.
I
Yeah,
can't
I
wait
heard it.
for the Pro Bowl.
That's a game where, Bryce Young, Kayvon Thibodeau,
Mm-hmm.
Bijan Robinson all played in that game, just to name a
Dope.
few.
Dope.
So
So, I don't know. I probably have missed it. So, how do you determine who you selecting to go to the
I
boat?
have 2 general managers, one for the East, one for the West, named 2 head coaches. They have they scout at nationals, the teams that are there and the kids, and then if there is some kids in the country whose teams didn't make it, they'll take some video, and then we have we have every single game, all 300 games played at nationals filmed because it was all streamed, so,
Mhm.
by Varsity Media, so they all have access to all the 13 and 14-year-old games. So if they hear number 12 from Watkins 13U is a ball player, they're going to go watch some of his game down there and see if he's a kid they want to have on the team. And then they take some recommendations from some of our coaches that have been around a while. A Rod Mack, a Keefe. They say, we got these 3 kids for you. We're going to take them. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Right.
And Rod Mack will be on the East coaching staff. Terrence Mansfield, the PTE 13U head coach. He's going to be the head coach this year. On the West side, we have a head coach from Ohio, Kenyon Albert. This year will be the head coach. He was assistant. Larry James from OGs on that staff on the West. You know, it's a combo of guys that coach 13 and 14U. There's 8 guys on each side, each 8 coaches. So, you know, we rotate that, you know, for the most part every couple of years. Some assistants will come back, but, you know, we try to rotate through that and give our coaches opportunity to have that experience as well.
Okay. Martia said, "Is the game still up? Is all the games still up?"
If you have the varsity media pass, that's you know what I mean. You have to deal with varsity media on that. VarsityMediaPass.com.
Got you. Okay.
I have all 300, but you can't have them unless you go to varsity media.
All right, man. So yeah, like I say, appreciate you coming on. We're gonna see how we can get acclimated with these teams, man.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll
and
connect. I'll send you all my contact,
okay, all right, definitely.
guys. It was a
Appreciate you,
pleasure. I
Craig.
appreciate both of you. Thank you very
Appreciate
much for your
you.
time.
Thank you.
Take
Appreciate
care.
you. Also, Martias Hill, just to let you know, Darian said last week that all those games are still up and that you can go back like multiple years as well on the varsity media. I remember him saying that last week. I don't know if you remember that, but I definitely remember that. But you know what, man? I got something to say. The Oakland Dynamites told you
Uh,
that they couldn't change to BD1 because they chose it at the beginning of the year. Well, we just said that was wrong, brother.
well, I mean, sometimes you hear things wrong.
Y'all just running from the smoke. Can we just not mention them anymore? Can they just be like not in the conversation? We got to stop bringing up people that's running from smoke.
Hey, man,
You know
they
what I'm
part
saying?
of
And
AYF. I
then
told
not
you
only did you run from smoke,
we
then
trying to get
you ran
acclimated.
from the smoke, and then you got beat. Man, never mind, bro. Moving on. Hey, man, this was a good one right here, bro. This was a good one.
It
I
was
feel like
necessary.
whatever question, whatever y'all thought was going on over there in AYF, I think all of that stuff got answered today.
All of it.
If you want 7-1, it ain't don't talk to the presidents and the vice presidents, huh? I think you gotta go and talk to those regionals. Call up those PA trenches and tell them you talking to the wrong people. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't Craig, and all the Craigs of the world don't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's the coaches that don't want to go to 7-1,
It's
y'all.
the coaches.
It's
Coaches
the
want to be on the
coaches.
field coaching the dang kids. What's wrong with y'all, man?
It ain't an AYF rule that you just gotta be on the sideline. It's the coaches that like it. It's the coaches. I mean, but like I said, bro, I'm telling you, like, people in AYF, I like to say, just like YNC got a cult following, bro, AYF got a cult following, bro. Like,
Hey, Darnell said, I ain't never letting that Oakland Dynamite support go.
me either. So
Hmm.
B Jones, when it comes to celebrations, he said that they go by high school rules. If they wouldn't allow it in a high school game, then they just don't allow it at the event at AYF.
Hmm.
He said because they get so many officials, they get officials from 8 states. It's either 8 or 9. I hate to misquote them, but he said they get officials from 8 to 9 states every year, 8 or 9 different states, and that trying to say that some people can celebrate and some people couldn't celebrate or whatever. B Jones, another one. Did they speak on why they block off the internet? Okay, well, I didn't ask that question. I don't think he asked
The
that
one
question.
question we did not
I
ask.
didn't ask that question, but I heard that wasn't true. So that's why I didn't ask that question. I
Hmm.
heard that, like, I seen it on Facebook that people were saying it, and then I seen people come back and say that it wasn't true. Facebook was down or something. So that's what I heard. I didn't hear that they blocked anything
Damn.
at
Hold on.
nationals.
Hey, hold on. See, that's what I'm talking about. B. Jones, you have no faith in us, bro. You literally just said, I'm gonna have to rewatch. I know y'all didn't ask, y'all ain't asked the right questions. You'll be surprised the question that was actually asked. You know what I'm saying? Like we asked a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying? So he says, man, we played a team, non-AYF, that tried to have a coach on the field at 9U. That's
You want to
what.
hear something crazy, bro? You're sitting here talking about 7U coaches on the field, and UYFL at 8U, they can have coaches on the field.
Okay, that Coach Craig said it. He said we had nothing to do with that. It was Facebook who did that.
Okay, so that's your question right there, B. Jones.
They're your questions.
And that's what I'm saying. The people that said that it was blocked, they came back onto their streams and they said, "Hey, it wasn't true. AYF did not block us. Facebook was down." That's what they said. So that's why I didn't ask that question, because they had already came back and clarified that they had misspoke. You know what I'm saying? So I don't be asking questions that people already clarified. I think we really covered anything that you want to know, B. Jones. I really think we covered.
Just go watch the playback, man.
I'm trying to see
I think you'll
why
be
they
more
don't allow
surprised,
music
bro.
boxes. Okay, so I didn't know that they don't allow music boxes, but hell, the music even at YNC, I don't know why y'all want to play music at YNC. Hell, you can't hear it. You can't hear the music. Hell, I could not figure out why teams was coming in with their boom boxes, and literally the DJ was drowning out the boom box. I seen one team come in, they all off beat. They just look crazy. They were just coming in trying to dance to their music. Bro, this dude is playing music over your music. Yeah. So it was just like, hell, it wasn't even no point. And then by the time you get to the field, it's game time. You got like 3-4 minutes warm up. It's game time. So I don't even know what the hell you bringing the music boxes for anyway.
Hold on, wait. Hey, see, B. Jones, bro, you just be saying anything. He said when I got on, y'all seemed a bit nervous. So yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch. Nervous about what? This dude is gone.
This dude crazy, man. This dude crazy, man.
Hey, all right, bro.
Shout out to B. Jones.
So tomorrow we got another gentleman on, Radcliffe Thomas, right? He got an event that's coming up called a Gridiron Classic.
For sure.
And former NFL player, right? Make sure y'all tune in because he does some all-star stuff. And I think that y'all like what he got to offer, man. I had a conversation with him. I think y'all like what he has to offer. Definitely. He said he hey, this dude, man.
This dude crazy, man.
Hurry up and end it. So I can watch it. Bro, you can go to YouTube right now, bro, and rewatch the whole thing. You ain't gotta wait till the stream end. But yeah, man, you know what? I'm gonna actually take your advice. I'm gonna end it. We're gonna end it early, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow. But like I said, man, we got Radcliffe Thomas coming on tomorrow.
Absolutely.
The day after that, we got Born Chasers coming on. Then after that, we got Mac Dolphins coming on. Then after that, we got one of the top receivers, Prince Will Njoku, coming on. You know what I'm saying? So this week, man, we pretty full.
A busy week, 2025. We going crazy for y'all.
Yes, sir. But hey, man, y'all
hit that like button.
Yeah, y'all definitely hit the like button. Y'all be blessed, man. You know, we'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Make sure y'all tune in. Hit the like button and subscribe. Go to Fanatic Media also. Fanatic Media _ on Instagram. Make sure y'all go subscribe to that page. All right, we'll see y'all.